Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan. I'm going to be chatting with you guys today and giving just a homeschool update, just kind of sharing my thoughts, how the year has gone, and where we're going as far as homeschooling next year. I cannot believe that we are almost at the end of our school year this year. This was our 10th year of homeschooling. I started when my oldest was in pre-K, and now my oldest is finishing up 8th grade and will be moving into high school next year. Now, we are still planning to homeschool for high school as well, so those plans have not changed. But as far as moving into those high school years in homeschooling, I'm going to chat about those in just a little while, but let's just talk about this year first. So I feel like this year has gone pretty well. I will say we had an insanely awesome start to the beginning of our school year. We just were plowing right through things, and then about November hit and things started to slow down just a little bit. And I don't know about you guys, but while this year has been a great school year, this year feels incredibly long. Before I started filming this video, I was actually trying to think through some of the curriculum that we set out to use or started to use at the beginning of the school year. And then I was like, wait, was that this school year or was that last school year? Or I just kind of was like, oh my goodness, it feels so long ago. For example, one of the things we set out to use this year with all of my elementary kiddos was Gentle and Classical's nature study for our science. Then as we got into the school year, while we started the year with that, as we got into the school year, we actually ended up changing that and using Berean builders for our science instead. And we have really loved that, actually. So this year I have 5 kids that I am homeschooling. One is not quite homeschool age, not formal homeschool age anyway. He has done some things throughout the year because he's 4, but I don't put like a lot of pressure on those preschool years. All that to say, there are some of my kids that have just experienced different levels of growth in different areas, and that has been really amazing to see. And I think that has added to why it's felt like such a long school year, especially for my second son who's in 6th grade this year. And because of that growth, specifically in like reading and language, because of that growth, we have had to kind of adapt what we're using with him because he is my son who has dyslexia. And so that has been a good thing though, just to see how we can stretch him, new things we can put him in, things like that. One of the things that we tried this year is we love redefining school for middle school. My oldest has absolutely enjoyed it these past couple of years. He does the literature survey though, where it's a monthly author study. Whereas my son that's in 6th grade this year tried one of the literature circles, which is actually a book study. And that was something that at first he did not want to do at all. Like, he was very reluctant. He was actually a little bit upset with me that I had signed him up to do that. However, once he actually got into it, it stretched him so much and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. And I feel like it really bolstered his confidence. That was really cool just to see that growth. My kindergartner, she has grown so much, especially in math. She has become quite the math whiz. And that has been really cool to watch. She is so cute. She does math all the time and gets really excited when she learns something new, even on her own, that is math related. My other daughter, her favorite subject has always been reading, and that is always where she has excelled. And she's still doing really well with it. However, she used to make comments all the time like, oh, I hate math or whatever. And it was just because that was an area that wasn't like her biggest strength. So she just would say she didn't like math because of that. But this year, she actually has said math is now her favorite subject. So it's just things like that that I think are really neat to witness in our children as we are homeschooling, just to see their growth and the change in them from year to year and throughout the year. It's just such a cool thing. It has been really interesting to think about where to go next school year with our homeschool. So I am an eclectic homeschooler for the most part. I tend to lean more classical when it comes to like history and literature, a little bit more. But I really work hard to try to tailor each of my children's curriculum to them and their needs and their learning style, and really what, like I said, their needs. Like, what are their specific needs? And so that has been something that I really have been racking my brain on as we are moving into this next school year. There's been a couple of things that have made it a little bit more difficult just to nail down curriculum choices for and stuff. And so I think I've got everything nailed down for next year. So be looking for those videos coming up, just sharing what all of our curriculum choices are. Of course, my history choice is still going to be the same as it has been the past couple of years. And I'll be sharing that because it's exciting, because they have just released a new edition of Biblioplan for history. So with all of those thoughts has come high school. And this has been such an interesting thing for me. It was very overwhelming at first in beginning to navigate it, because you have to think about the credits that have to be fulfilled and things like that, and really preparing your child for whatever direction that they're going to go. And right now, my oldest son isn't sure what he wants to do in the future. A lot of 13 or 14-year-olds aren't sure what they want to do in the future. And so I really want to provide a foundation that will be a good one for whatever he wants to pursue. So in thinking through all of that and the different credits that the state of Tennessee requires you to fulfill, I have really done a lot of digging in and researching and things like that. It is interesting though, because I thought, for example, that I knew what math curriculum I was going to use. So my plan was to use Denison algebra with my oldest son. However, I don't think that that's actually going to be the best fit for him. And the reason is because my son actually is doing quite well in math. He is pretty math brained. I mean, not incredibly math brained, but he doesn't really struggle with math. Once he gets it, and it kind of sticks. He is able to compute quite well in his brain, like mentally compute things well. And this year has been a big growth for him because he has really grown into enjoying math a lot more this year. And so you guys will have to watch his curriculum video to see what math that I ended up choosing. Other things, like I mentioned, fulfilling different credits that have to be fulfilled, and making sure that we follow Tennessee state guidelines with that, especially in regards to making sure that it is good, solid, college-ready foundation. Another big change for next year is that my youngest son will be in kindergarten. So I will then be officially homeschooling all 6 of my children, which is actually kind of exciting to me. I think it's going to be a fun year. I'm really going to take it gentle with my little guy, just because he is such an active, busy boy, and he's going to need the space to be able to still be active and busy, but still at the same time have a little bit more structure with learning. And so I'm really looking forward to it. Next year, I'm going to have a kindergarten, first grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 7th grade, and 9th grader. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. That's a lot of grades. All right, and the last thing that I wanted to chat about, one of the reasons why I haven't gotten my curriculum videos out for you guys is because I don't have all of the curriculum in hand that I'm using next year. And that's because there are several things I am not purchasing until I go to the Teach Them Diligently Homeschool Conference later this week. They offer great discounts at homeschool conferences and conventions. It's usually a much better discount than you could ever get on one of the sales from different curriculum companies. So if you have the opportunity to go to a conference in your area, I highly recommend it, not just because of that, but also it's just really encouraging listening to all the different speakers and things like that. Especially, I love that it's at the end of the school year because I feel like as we are ending this school year, it just gives you that encouragement to get over that hump at the very end and also gives you the encouragement to get ready for the next school year. So if you have the opportunity to go, I would highly, highly recommend it. And I would love to know if any of you guys are going to be at Teach Them Diligently Pigeon Forge this year. Let me know down in the comments. I know I posted on my community tab last week, I guess, asking if anybody was coming, and there were a few of you that mentioned that you were. So I hope to see some of you guys there. All right, and so I guess that is the end of our chat today regarding homeschooling. I would love to know, how has your year gone this year? Share down in the comments. Have you been thinking through curriculum? Are you still thinking through some things? What are the grades that you're planning for next year? Let's get chatting down below, and I will see you guys on future videos. Thanks so much, guys, and have a blessed day.